Welcome back to XSOAR Engineer Training. This is part 18, SLA trigger scripts. In this video, we'll use an SLA script to take action when the SLA for a timer field is breached. And with that, let's get to it. SLA scripts execute when the SLA for a given timer field breaches its SLA. We can find example scripts in our automations library by searching for the scripts which are tagged with SLA. In this case, we have an example script that is used to send an email to the owner of an incident when the SLA for that timer breaches. You could use this same script and take a copy of it and modify it to send an email to SOC managers or other teams who might want that notification. We can specify SLA scripts on incident fields where the type of that field is timer/SLA. For example, looking at the time to assignment timer, we can edit this field and we can set the SLA for the specific timer and select the SLA script to run if the timer breaches that SLA. The timer will be considered in breach if it is started and it is not stopped or paused before that SLA time hits. In this case, the available script we have is the one that is tagged with SLA from our automations menu, and any scripts we build must also have that tag to allow us to pick them. Now for our example script for this video, we're going to create an SLA timer script that will, instead of sending an email on breach, complete a task within our playbook. To start, we'll click New Automation, and we'll give this a name, again referencing the title case that we know and expect from automations. In this case, we'll call it Complete Task on Timer Breach. We'll get rid of the example code once again, and to make sure that we can select this as an SLA type script, we'll add the tag for SLA. Now, much like our previous videos on field change and field display scripts, there are default arguments that are passed to SLA scripts when they are executed. Our best reference for this is the Cortex XSOAR min guide, which details the arguments that are passed into the script, as well as what we can do with them. In the context of SLA scripts, we have access to the current incident through the demisto.incident method that we've shown previously. In addition, it will pass in the field and the field value as arguments into the script. The field value itself has a number of different arguments for each timer, such as whether the breach was triggered, when the timer is due, the total duration, run status, etc. Now for our automation, we're not going to use anything but the demisto.incident method. Now once again, we've already pre-prepared our script, so let's paste this in and explain what it's doing. Once again, we'll be using the demisto.incident method, this time retrieving the ID for the incident where this script executes. Next, we'll be using the task complete command. We can take a look at what this does via our script helper. If we look for task complete, this particular built-in command will complete a task when it runs. It needs two arguments, one being the ID, which is either the number of the task or the tag that task is tagged with to complete. Next, it requires the incident ID, which is the incident ID where we would like to execute this command against. In this case, our current incident. We can save our automation and we can go set up a field that will use this on SLA breach. Next, let's create a new timer field that will utilize our new script. In this case, we'll call this XET timer for XSOAR Engineer Training Timer. Select the field type of timer/SLA. And this time we'll set the SLA for this timer to 1 minute. Pick the new script, the Complete Task on Timer Breach, from our list and hit save. Next, let's build a playbook that starts this timer, lets it breach, and see how it uses the script to complete a task. We're in our playbook editor to build our new playbook. To start, to make sure that the timer does indeed breach, we need to first start it. For this, we'll add a section header We'll just use the start XCT timer, and we'll tell this particular header to start our XCT timer. Next, we'll add a manual task. We'll call this "You complete me," and we'll tag this task with the tag timer breach. If you remember from the script, that is the tag that our script will look for to complete any task with this tag. Hit OK, and we'll add one more tag. You completed me. Saving our playbook, we can go test this by running it in an incident and see what happens when our timer breaches. We've created a new incident. If we pivot over to the work plan, you can see that we selected the work plan that we created previously. This plan is executed and started the XCT timer and is stopped on our manual task. If we've done our job correctly, this task should complete when the SLA breaches after 1 minute, moving the playbook forward to the "You completed me" task. While we're waiting, we can check our context data, specifically the XCT timer field. If we search for it, see it's under the incident object, and the run status is indeed running. In this case, the SLA is set to 1 minute. And there we are. The timer script executed, completed our manual task, and moved our playbook along. If we take a look at the XCT timer again under context, you can see that this time the breach triggered has been set to true. The timer, however, is still running. We never stopped it within our playbook. This particular trick is useful to move a playbook along after a given period of time. For example, if you were to open an external ticket and say ServiceNow to have your desk side team re-image a laptop, you could have the playbook stop, give the team 24 hours, and then move the playbook along. And with that, let's review what we did in this video. SLA trigger scripts take action when a timer field breaches its SLA. This can be used to notify incident owners, SOC managers of the SLA breach. You could escalate severity, reassign the ticket to a new owner, or in our example, simply move the playbook along. And with that, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.